Swallowed Star. Xiyong. The silver-haired youth Na Ko and his father were at a loss. Xiyong was the world leader of this side of the world, a being like an emperor. Xiyong knows you are here and is rushing over. Luo Feng had discovered the purple-clothed lady's communicator after he killed her. Using his own AI to hack it, he was able to find out quite a lot. How were we discovered? I was very careful when I took my dad over. Na Ko was in disbelief. Because there's a chip in your dad's body. Luo Feng replied. What? Na Ko turned to look at his father. Nabu's face was filled with suspicion. Na Ko quickly used his spirit energy to scan his father's body, finally finding a little chip within the bone of his leg, immediately saying, "Father, bear with me, I'll extract the chip." Over his years of exploring, Na Ko had heard of the communication devices. Usually those equipped with them were all domain level. A black light swept past Nabu's leg and the device was immediately dug out. After which he used his spirit energy to pressure the wound, and with Nabu's body structure, this little wound was nothing. Luo Feng ordered the quantum computer, do a scan to see if there are any more devices in his body. Yes, master. The AI shot out a signal scan, confirmed, only one device and it's been extracted. Luo Feng looked at the father and son before him. Na Ko, Nabu, quickly leave, ah, right, he flipped his hand and retrieved a space ring, tossing it to Na Ko. This is... Na Ko was stunned. Wealth. Luo Feng said. Too much wasn't a good thing for Na Ko. He had given enough. Hurry and leave. Luo Feng said. The further the better, as for Xiyong, I'll stall him for you. Big brother Feng. Na Ko couldn't help but shout. Lord Feng, you. Nabu too couldn't believe it. Quickly go. Luo Feng frowned, shouting coldly. Na Ko and Nabu were after all clean law-abiding people that had been through much suffering. At this point, there wasn't much else to say. Na Ko immediately brought his father, stepping on a spirit weapon and becoming a beam of light leaving. Watching the two leave, Luo Feng smiled. Little Na Ko, during my trip here in Blood River Continent, it was fate that made us meet each other. Your future depends on your own self now. Luo Feng said softly. After which he rushed into the skies and landed on the peak of a 1,000 m tall mountain. Standing alone on top, gazing into the distant horizon, a domain lord has no challenge to me whatsoever, only a sector lord has some meaning. Come Xiyong. Luo Feng stood there, the winds blew, he patiently waited. A silver-black disk appeared in the 15th cloud level above that mountain. According to the communication device coordinates, it's right here. Almost like the ocean blue, dressed in black armor, Xiyong's lips were thin and cold. He vanished from the ship and became a black beam of light rushing downwards through the 15th, 14th. Right till the first cloud level heading towards that forest. Suddenly, he stopped in mid-air, frowning as he looked at the majestic peak of the mountain. There stood a black-clothed man. I'm called, he stared hard at him, Feng. Feng. Xiyong unleashed his world energy, immediately discovering the purple-clothed lady's body, his facial muscles twitched, my disciple. Dead. The black-clothed man said coldly, I killed her. Xiyong's eyes were like lightning, struggling, he roared, you actually dare kill my disciples in my territory, you are but a small domain level. If you want to battle, cut the chatter, let's fight. The black-clothed man's eyes were piercing, filled with fighting spirit. Xiyong was taken aback. A domain level challenging a world level? What joke was that? After he was stunned, he turned to rage. Ha, ha. Xiyong laughed, today will be your funeral. The cold mountain breeze howled. Luo Feng's blood however was burning and boiling. The blue-haired man before him was a sector lord. Just from his energy alone, he should be about sector lord 4 or 5. Domain level 9 challenging sector lord 4 or 5. And there was a breakthrough in between. Madness. Only Luo Feng dared to do something so insane. In terms of genius, he was now comparable to Bolin, the pinnacle of the universe humans. And right now he was a favorite of space, the universe's strongest assassins, Masha clansmen. Domain level 9 against a sector lord 4 or 5. Luo Feng stared ahead at Si Yong in mid-air, as his spirits were burning wildly. The two suddenly grew silent. One stood above the majestic peak, and one in mid-air. The two who faced off were completely silent. Rumble, suddenly the land and skies changed colors. The black-armored Si Yong floated in mid-air, his long hair flying, his gaze shooting out glaring beams of light. Laughing loudly, "You think you can fight me?" Immediately the mountain stones, including the mountain Luo Feng was standing on, began to crumble. Countless amounts of rubble rose up and floated in mid-air. A blur of stones floated all over. "Go!" Si Yong pointed at Luo Feng, coldly ordering. "Who?" Like a mad tornado, countless stones passed through space. This was tens of millions of times more crazy than 10 million arrows being shot, and all of them engulfed Luo Feng, almost as though it wanted to turn his entire body into a target. Si Yong was a sector lord level 5, even though he was controlling so many stones, every one of them had the power to kill a domain lord level 9. Hence, with so many gathered, the power was terrifying. Using pure power to suppress his enemy. Rumble. 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 "Your stones fly too slowly." A voice resounded. Si Yong turned fiercely, and on his left stood Luo Feng. He was shocked within, this punk Feng is so fast. His instantaneous speed is definitely much faster than me. Much faster. Use your real strength, otherwise killing you will be pointless. Luo Feng flipped his hand and a blood shadow blade appeared. He stared at his opponent, as his eyes burned with spirit. Shwa! Luo Feng immediately rushed forward, his rushing speed was extremely quick. Even though he was prepared, Si Yong was still shocked. His options were limited, quickly projecting his internal world, the vast world energy immediately warped and changed everything within the 1,000 li area. The scenery changed, it was a destroyed mountain range in the night before. Now however it was an endless ocean, the water below even had an ice mountain. Luo Feng immediately felt the terrifying pressure, almost as though his entire body was shackled. This is the true power of a sector lord, the strongest trump card a sector lord can use against a domain lord, an entire world. Indeed it's powerful. With the pressure of the world, all of my powers will decrease in strength. Luo Feng licked his lips, his eyes burning even more. This is thrilling, fighting with everything. Shwa! Under the pressure of the world, over 10,000 Luo Fengs appeared in the air above the ocean. The appearance of the blur of images made Si Yong shocked. My God, even with my world pressure he still can form over 10,000 images. His comprehension of the space laws, just what level has he reached? Si Yong was completely stunned. Not even mentioning Blood River World, even in the universe there were extremely few people of this level. Hua! Just what level have his space laws reached? As Si Yong was shocked. One black and one white all appeared before him. Dang! The white all brought with it endless ice-cold energy, as the surroundings froze into ice and snow and attacked Luo Feng's blade. Chi! Luo Feng felt his body tremble and fresh blood spurting out from his mouth. Simultaneously he shouted, "Illusion! Who? Block!" Si Yong retreated abruptly, simultaneously using the black awl to defend. Dang! The powerful blade actually knocked away the black awl, its strong slash sliced right at Si Yong's neck. Rumble! Four shields appeared beside Si Yong's body and they floated around him. Luo Feng's blade hit one of them head-on, knocking Si Yong's entire body backwards by 100 kilometers. The Masha clansman's strongest trump card. Illusionary 7 blades, burial. Studying the first claw had made his comprehension of burial soar. After 80 years, this move instead became the Masha clansman's strongest move. Burial, why burial? Using one's full strength, even sacrificing himself to unleash the most brutal and intrepid attack. It was incredibly powerful. Si Yong, who was knocked back, had an ugly expression. Looking at the 4 shields before him, his eyes focused once more. I was actually forced to use my world, defensive weapons, and spirit weapons all in a short amount of time. This. Before this, Si Yong never would have thought that he'd be forced by a domain lord to use all his tricks. Yaya! Si Yong's entire face was flushed red. He roared and stared at the distant Luo Feng. Punk, I'll let you know that a domain level cannot defeat a world level. It's just impossible. The surface of the ocean was roaring, and the many blocks of ice floating there were flying about, and the owner of this world Si Yong was floating in mid-air. He currently had a very troubled expression. Obviously in this short time, this domain lord had forced him into such a state of rage. It was humiliating, a sector lord's humiliation. Words are useless. Luo Feng was dressed in black. Standing far in the distance, his body once again became a blur, and through the Masha clansman's use of illusionary techniques movement, it was like a fish in water. His close combat instantaneous acceleration far exceeded that of this sector lord. An illusion appeared. Si Yong immediately retreated. Explode! Si Yong roared. Immediately, the 2 black and white awls before him let out a glaring light. The surroundings about the white awl became extremely cold and froze into ice. Snow was fluttering about. The area surrounding the black awl however howled as the black water took shape, making the black awl like a black dragon. Rumble! Rumble! A black water dragon and a white ice dragon interweaved about, even shaking the entire world. The endless world energy poured into these 2 dragons, of which the black dragon was filled with endless energy while the white was filled with absolute killing intent. This move was called the Dual Dragon Pierce. It was Si Yong's trump card from studying the water origin laws. While maybe his comprehension levels didn't compare to Luo Feng's, however it was still infused with origin laws. Also, in terms of pure power and the world pressure, his advantage was obvious. Rumble! The 2 dragons flew around each other like a huge electric drill, immediately creating an image and reaching right before Luo Feng. That speed, it's so fast. Luo Feng, who was moving at his max speed, looked at the black and ice dragon that seemed to reach him in an instant. He became a blur for a moment before changing his direction and dodging. Simultaneously a 6-edged shield appeared before him, defending him. That push from the shield seemed simple enough, however it was almost as though the entire space was pushed back. Rumble! Xiao! Xiao! The core of the 2 dragons, the black and white awls, revealed their true state and pierced straight at Luo Feng. Shua! Luo Feng, who was in mid-air, immediately dodged. Over 10k images appeared in the surroundings. Clash, explode and pierce. Luo Feng looked at his hand below. The left arm, which was completely broken from holding the shield earlier, was bloody, however black energy was wrapped around it and in an instant, it completely recovered. After infusing with the origin laws, world energy, and an entire world behind this attack, when the two spirit weapons combined, this move is extremely powerful. Si Yong, who was floating in mid-air, looked delighted initially. However, right after he began to rage. Howling, "You still aren't dead. I don't believe you can't die. Go." Si Yong howled, his face was pale as he pointed with gritted teeth, seemingly using his full concentration to control the spirit weapons. Rumble. Rumble. The two dragons' claws, horns and wings were complete this time. Go and die, die, die. Si Yong was completely immersed in madness. Howl. Howl. The two huge dragons howled through the surroundings. Who knew whether it was them howling or just the sound waves generated from their extreme speed? The two lifelike dragons spiraled, their tails waving about, claws glistening in the light, their bodies rushed forward and immediately countless images vanished. Luo Feng was finally forced into a difficult situation. There's an absolute difference of at least 10 times. He has the world to help him, along with comprehension of water laws. This is a spirit reader that extremely hard to deal with. Even with this Masha body, it's a very taxing to battle. However, only this can be considered a challenge. Luo Feng moved as fast as he could. The Masha clansman was the strongest assassins in the universe. They were proficient in stealth killings, and the illusionary techniques was just one path for it. The illusionary techniques combined with the Masha clansman's illusions was an absolute combo. Chi. Luo Feng spit out fresh blood again, once again dodging. Chi. The flash of a blade was clawed away by the ice dragon, its claw was completely destroyed, however, it quickly reformed. And as Luo Feng was knocked away, he dodged and once again vanished. How can this be? Why is he still not dead? Si Yong stared wide-eyed. With a struggling expression, he said, "He's only at domain level, and I am at world level. Just what ghostly movement allows him to move that quickly and so unpredictably? Getting injured time and again, yet it has no effect at all. I can only shrink the area. After that, the area I need to focus my attacks in will be smaller. This way, the efficiency will be higher." Si Yong realized the problem. As the area they were fighting in was too huge, it allowed Luo Feng to easily dodge 10 kilometers away and flash about hundreds of times. With such a huge space, when Luo Feng unleashed his movement, the two spirit weapons naturally couldn't achieve victory. Rumble. The two huge dragons retreated and stayed close to Si Yong. Luo Feng would be attacked within a 100 kilometers diameter area before. However, now with them retreating, only when Luo Feng entered a 30 kilometers diameter area around Si Yong was he attacked. The area was smaller. Naturally the efficiency was higher. Smart, you finally realized the problem. Having been forced back time and again, unable to even approach Si Yong, Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. He immediately rushed at Si Yong, and as he did, the two spirit weapons didn't even budge. As he drew closer, however, only then did they howl out. The reduced battle area made the two dragons instantly close their distance with Luo Feng, making it taxing on Luo Feng to dodge. Rumble. One clash made Luo Feng's entire body tremble, and fresh blood spurted from his mouth, nose and even ears. He could only retreat and dodge. Ha ha ha. Seeing the obvious advantage, Si Yong laughed loudly. A world level is a world leader, a domain level is just a domain level. No matter how much of a genius you are, you'll still die without a doubt. Schwa. 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 Luo Feng dodged time and again drawing closer to Si Yong. Shwa! Almost like a ghostly flash, he closed in the 30 kilometers distance and instantly reaching about 100 m away from Si Yong. Si Yong controlled his four-sided shield and simultaneously used his two spirit weapons to surround and attack Luo Feng. I didn't believe that with such close distance, you will be able to withstand up to 3 attacks. But 10 to 100 attacks. Si Yong howled. Burial. Luo Feng roared softly, unleashing his strongest move. The gray flash of the blade was brutal, instantly slicing through 10 m of distance, and slashed at Si Yong. The power of that flash, the intrepid energy was simply terrifying. The surrounding space around it was completely controlled. The flash headed forward and had a hint of gold light. Illusionary 7 blades, burial. It's useless. Si Yong laughed. Rumble. Rumble. His two-sided shield came over to block. The first side was knocked back but the second managed to block the blade. Rumble. The 2 dragons howled from behind, attacking Luo Feng. The blade had yet to have any effect. Luo Feng squinted and immediately released the blade in his hand, his right hand suddenly grew longer. It was originally a normal human arm, in an instant it grew and pierced swiftly towards the shield, extending over 10 m long, its life crystal too was within that right arm. Rumble. The 2 huge dragons clashed into his body and it immediately exploded, fresh blood and bones scattering. What? Si Yong looked at the sudden growth of the right arm that extended and was extremely shocked. How did his arm grow so long? Is it from the armor? It's useless, his body has been destroyed, even if the life crystal is okay, without a flesh body to trigger it, it's unable to trigger sufficient energy. Si Yong was calm, triggering energy required passing through the backbone and muscles etc. Once the body was destroyed, leaving only a broken arm, what was the use? Shwa! The blade flashed and instantly sliced through Si Yong's neck, piercing into his body and scanning within, it pierced straight into the life core and broke it. How is that possible? Si Yong stared wide-eyed, how can a fake hand extended from the armor unleash such terrifying blade work? Once the body is destroyed, how can it even attack with power? Before dying, many thoughts passed through Si Yong's mind, following which, he crumbled and his consciousness faded. The 2 huge dragons immediately crumbled and fell, revealing 2 spirit weapons. The world around too crumbled and the endless ocean dissolved, revealing a decimated mountain range. The spirit weapons fell from mid-air, the shield too followed suit. Si Yong was defeated. Chi. That broken arm instantly wrapped itself with black energy and as the energy gathered, it became a black-clothed Luo Feng. His eyes were filled with fatigue, however also with ecstasy and excitement. I've succeeded. Luo Feng lowered his gaze to look at Si Yong's body. Thinking within, a true human, if their body was destroyed, they can only use spirit attacks, and not close-quarters physical attacks. However, the Masha clansman is an energy life form. If I wanted to, I could change to tens of millions of things, much less a broken limb. I can even change into a cloud contact vine, a stone, and I'd still be able to attack. The Masha clansman could transform into almost anything, be it humans, bones, muscles, skin, the internal organs, hair, eyes, and nose etc. all would be exactly similar to that of a real human. Even if it got injured and its bones broke, the impact causing blood to be spit out, everything was exactly like that of a real human. And if it changed to a golden horned beast. Similarly, every scale, horn even the engravings on the scales. Of course, the larger the size, the more energy it required. Even if the Masha clansman transformed into the golden horned beast, it would only be a 10 m huge golden horned beast. If it wanted to transform to tens of km, hundreds of km like the mountain range like huge beast, the energy within the life crystal would be depleted very quickly. Night, the cold winds blew. The mountain range was reduced to a wasteland. Black-clothed Luo Feng gazed down below. I actually used the Masha body to kill Xiyong. Luo Feng was excited. Even though the Masha clansman is strong, it's still after all strong in assassination only. During a true 1v1 battle like this, there are many stronger than the Masha clansman. If it were the 12 pinnacle bloodlines of the space beasts, which of them weren't incomparably intrepid? And just like the ancient beast in the ancient pictures in Blood River World, which was just as intrepid. And the pinnacle of the bug clan in the universe, the mother nest, and the metal life forms, plant life forms, the powerful existences, these were all beings comparable to the golden horned beast. All of them were incredibly intrepid. The Masha clansman is strong in assassination. Actually, I only required to kill one of his disciples and transform into him. Then using the natural ability to imitate that disciple's energy. Luo Feng thought, that way, even if I stood before Xiyong, he wouldn't sense any problem at all. When I get close, with him defenseless, I'll kill him in an instant. That would be much easier than fighting it out like before. Luo Feng was clear. Allowing the Masha clansman to assassinate Xiyong wouldn't have been a challenge at all. The main thing was its natural ability to duplicate was simply too sick. I was able to kill him. Even though it was partially due to Xiyong's poor comprehension of the laws, however with the gap in our power, I still succeeded. It also shows that my improvement over these 80 years was huge. Luo Feng was happy within. Gazing below at the decimated mountain range, as Xiyong's internal world crumbled, large amounts of treasures were scattered throughout. Luo Feng collected Xiyong's space item and placed the valuable treasures casually within. As for the others, how much wealth could a sector lord have? In the universe, one with 10 mixed elements was already wealthy. Much less the aboriginals of this Blood River world, only very few were worthy of Luo Feng's attention. The other items, added together were far from one mixed element's worth. With Luo Feng's status, whatever he needed all used points after all. So, he rushed into the sky, leaving behind the decimated mountain range and Xiyong's body, along with large amounts of treasure that he wasn't even interested in or were worthless to him. Also, the news about the death of Xiyong had spread. Xiyong's death. Immediately, the surrounding large world leaders began their attacks to snatch the territory. Xiyong's power quickly faded into dust. There wasn't even anyone trying to avenge him, much less go after Na Ku and Nabu. This is what Big Brother Feng left for us. The silver-haired youth Na Ku brought his father finally to a hiding place to rest. Only then did he open the space ring to check, shocked. Cuckoo, what's the matter? Nabu was curious. Big Brother Feng left us a large amount of wealth. So much more than our family's wealth from before, millions of times more. Na Ku was shocked. Nabu's eyes gleamed immediately. Our Na family will rise up again, stronger and bigger than before. With this wealth, it'll be easy from now. Na Ku, our gamble back then was right. Na Ku nodded, worrying within about Luo Feng. Big Brother Feng said he'd go stop Xiyong. However, later on, when the news of Xiyong's death spread, especially the location of his death, Na Ku and Nabu were overwhelmed with shock. Obviously, the place where Xiyong died was where Luo Feng was waiting before. Big Brother Feng killed Xiyong. Lord Feng killed Xiyong. Na Ku and Nabu were shocked. As for whatever happened later in Blood River World, Luo Feng naturally didn't know. After killing Xiyong, Masha Luo Feng rushed into the sky back into the automaton ship and began his departure. Blood River World. Standing in the control room, he looked back at the endless vast continent. This was a place completely subdued and observed by the Virtual Universe Company. Here's where we part, little Na-Ku. Once I reach Domain Lord level, I'll be sent into territories as an envoy around the universe. At Sector Lord level I'll be going through hellish training too. I'm afraid I won't return for a very very long time. I hope that when I eventually do, I'll still be able to see you. Luo Feng knew. The fog covered the distant space, an incomparably huge palace floated there, that was Tian Palace. Because of this palace's existence, the many powerful warriors of Blood River World didn't dare leave. Since the ancient times till now, they were all stuck within their world. So, the palace in space was larger than even a planet. At this time a little dot flew out from the palace and swiftly headed towards Luo Feng's automaton ship. It was a triangular black ship with a diameter of 800 m. Your Majesty Luo Feng, how are you? I am the receiver of Tian Palace, Missouri Luaka. Congratulations on your Majesty's completion of the Blood River World mission. The ship drew closer to Luo Feng's automaton ship, sending a message over. Very quickly, with the ship leading, Luo Feng arrived within a vast hall in the first level of Tian Palace. The hall was at least 1,000 kilometers in length and width. Your Majesty Luo Feng. Dressed in silver armor with 6 eyes and blue skin, the Sector Lord Mo Luoku stood beside and lead the way. Speaking fluent universe language, his voice was very clear and resounding. You actually stayed in Blood River World for 80 years. That's really shocking. The main thing was the Blood Warrior mission. Luo Feng smiled as he walked. Different from Blood River World, even though there were many races within that world, most of them looked pretty similar. However, the human races were too many in the universe. With countless races, all sorts of appearances were present. Blood Warrior mission. Has your Majesty completed it? Mo Luoku was shocked. Luo Feng nodded. Wow, congratulations your Majesty. Mo Luoku smiled. I've seen and received many geniuses who've attempted this mission, even those from the Huge Axe and Universe Mercenary Alliance. However, very few are actually able to become Blood Warriors. Because, absorbing 3 Blood River crystals normally required them to stay in the ancient god ruins for extended periods. Many of them don't have that much patience. And it's also very dangerous within the ruins. Luo Feng nodded. The two walked and chatted. Even though they weren't rushing, in a few minutes they had passed a 1,000 kilometers distance swiftly and arrived at the stairs of the second floor. The stairway was incredibly vast. Every level was 100 m high, 10 kilometers long and 5 kilometers wide. It was entirely made of ceramic. Each stairway had at least 1,000 levels, spiraling upwards. We can only proceed from here to head upstairs. Sector Lord Mo Luoku smiled. The two became beams of light and followed the stairs upwards. There's no need to head up right. Just arrange a universe ship for me and send me off, wouldn't that do? Luo Feng asked. It's our leader of the Tian Palace, he wishes to see you. Mo Luoku said. The leader? Luo Feng was shocked. Tian Palace's leader, what status was that? Sector Lord Mo Luoku's eyes were filled with envy. Smiling, I've been in this palace for so many years, I've yet to meet him face to face. Our leader has unbelievable power. With just him being here, those undyings from the undying shrine in Blood River World, and all the ancient beings, none of them dare come out. For the leader to wish to see you, is your good luck. Why does he wish to see me? Luo Feng was curious. The leader of Tian Palace, that level of being, he was at least a universe country leader level, or even stronger. How else could he control Blood River World with fear? To the geniuses, that level of being didn't care much for them at all. These beings were all ancient eternal beings within the universe. The reason behind him wanting to meet you? Why would I, such a small figure, know? Sector Lord Mo Luo Ku smiled. My authority is only to send you to the second level. I don't even dare to follow after. However, there will be someone there to receive you and take you straight to the 9th level to meet the leader. The moment he finished speaking, the two arrived at the 2nd level of the palace. Luo Feng gazed far ahead and spotted a 3 m tall messy-haired man with a huge axe on his back. Vaguely, that man was almost like a tall mountain that made hearts tremble. The energy he emitted seemed even more terrifying than the God General 13 from back in Ganwu Universe Country.